What's going on, everybody? It's Afro Think Tank. Now check this out. So JD Vance was picked as Donald Trump's VP pick at the Republican National Convention yesterday, right? Let me tell you how racist the core of the Republican Party are. Now, JD Vance, who said that Donald Trump is America's Hitler, right? Because JD Vance hates Trump. But, of course, all that changes when you get that golden butter biscuit, right? So, I mean, politicians usually talk trash about each other, and then, you know, they collaborate later. So I'm not even going to harp on that too much, even though he did say and indicated that Donald Trump is basically a piece of trash and that he's Hitler. But this guy is willing to work with Hitler if he get to be Vice Hitler. So that's where his moral compass stands, JD Vance, right? But so Donald Trump doubled down and didn't pick none of the Coonarians that was burning all their bridges with their communities. The Indian Coonarians, the ones that, so the Indians who changed their names, right, to sound more white so they could be accepted by white people in America. They do that because they know America's racist and they won't accept their Indian names, right? All the black people like Tim Scott got 2 first names and shit. Like all these super tap dancing POCs and black people, right? Now, Donald Trump doubled down and picked a plain white guy, right? He just looks like a plain old white guy from Ohio. You just a plain white guy. Doesn't help him at all with his constituents. As a matter of fact, JD Vance is supposed to be a never Trumper, right? So MAGA is pissed off that he even picked JD Vance. But this is why they're really mad, because they're flipping out, right? And it doesn't make any sense because he's a white guy, you know, sure he said some shit, but everybody says some shit. But you want to know why they're so upset with JD Vance? You want to know why they're so upset with Donald Trump? It's because JD Vance has an Indian wife and mixed babies. They are so racist that even though Donald Trump picked the white guy who's a conservative, who says all the right stuff to make white people feel, you know, superior, and he does it all. But simply because his wife, who's not the politician, is an Indian woman, the way they look at it is, well, how can you value whiteness if you marry an Indian woman? Now, that's some of the same stuff we would say to a pro-black person, right? Like Dr. Umar would say, you know what I'm saying, you know, he said he would support Cornel West, but Cornel West is a bunny hopper, so he can't do that, right? And so the same thing goes for the white people, right? Like, look, you know what I'm saying? How you going to be pro-white? Because pro-America, patriotism, to be a Republican, MAGA means pro-white, right? And if you're a Coonarian, that means you advocate for pro-whiteness, right? Pro-Christian white maleness, right? You're a coon for them. You're their dogs, right? So even though he promotes that, they're saying, well, you don't really care and value white life because you ain't got yourself an Indian woman and a bunch of kids and a bunch of little mixed babies, right? So they're pissed about that. Now keep in mind, this is the same Republican Party that the Bear and all the other delusional weird, you know, the fake Pan-Africans who somehow want to be Pan-African, campaigning to tell you, they trying to convince you, reasonable black folk out there, they're trying to convince you, reasonable black people out there, that Republicans and Pan-Africanism can go together. And they think you stupid. Hold on, I didn't even get to my whole point. They think you stupid because they totally disregard the Southern strategy. Because they like to say, oh, like one fake Pan-African said that, he said that some of your favorite Pan-Africans were Republican, right? But they fail to educate the people that they're talking to on the difference between Republican, Democrat, conservative Republican, liberal Democrat, liberal Republican, conservative Democrat. Did you know that Joe Biden is a conservative Democrat who's known for working with Republicans his whole career? Did you know that Barack Obama was a moderate Democrat? We haven't had a liberal Democrat in the White House yet. And we definitely haven't had a progressive Democrat in the White House yet. Bernie Sanders is a progressive Democrat, and he's the most popular politician to run, but you know, the Democrats screwed him over, right? But what I really want to talk about is how you got all these black people trying to tell you to go to the Republican Party where they are open, they're not even hiding it, mask off. They are the party of white racists. Now, not all Republicans are racist, right? There are some old Colin Powell Republicans out there. Those are real Republicans. The Colin Powell Republicans. But even Colin Powell left the daggone Republican Party because it's not the same Republican Party that he remembers. This ain't your George Bush Republican Party. I had no problem with George Bush's Republican Party, even though I didn't like care much for a lot of his policies, but I did like a lot of his policies because I got a raise under Bush when I was in the military. I wasn't hating on him too much. He just wasn't always my cup of tea. And I've never been this against any Republicans ever in my life, even though I've been involved in politics, talking about politics. I've never been this involved in not liking a politician so much in my entire life until we got to here. Because, yeah, politicians, since there's been a thing called politics, have always screwed their people over. I mean, this is just normal political business. All right. There's never been a government in the history of the planet to where the politicians were just these great people that did everything they were supposed to do. It never worked out like that because that's not what happens in the real world, right? Politicians, usually if they're doing a good job, they don't please anybody, right? That's usually what happens, right? And progressive policies happens, very slowly, and some things remain the same. It's a very slow process the way we have it, right? But here's the thing, first let me just educate some of you guys. You see, back when black people were Republicans, we were liberal Republicans. We were liberal within the Republican Party. We were progressive because the Republican Party used to be the liberal progressive party. The Democrats used to be the conservative party. That's why the Democrats were the KKK and all that stuff, right? So when the Southern strategy took place in the 60s, they decided we're not going to go for the black vote. We're going to go for the poor white vote, right? The Republicans switched up from being liberal and progressive, right? The conservatives, Democrats, decided they were going to be Republicans. So the party switched. So when you hear any black guy who tried to mislead you with half-truths about how the Republicans, black people used to be Republicans, some of your favorite, some of your most important Pan-Africans were Republicans, that's back when the Republican Party were progressive and liberal, not when they were conservative. And another thing these fake Pan-Africans and these fake pro-blacks do is they don't tell you or educate you on the difference between conservatism, political conservatism, and social conservatism. Because what they like to do is give you a half-truth and tell you that black people have always been conservative, right? But because they don't educate you, because they give you half-truths, they make you believe that not only were black people always Republicans, but we were always conservative. Like that's the same thing as white Christian evangelical American conservatism. Like we used to be like that, and somehow we got into rainbows and gay shit, and that's why we're liberal. Because they will tell you that that's all liberals are about is gay shit. That's how simple-minded these people are. They don't know what they're talking about. Now let me educate you, since these fake Pan-Africans don't want to educate you. Black people have always been socially conservative. What does socially conservative mean? Socially conservative is the family, the social structure of how we are, our African heritage, our family cohesion, our man and woman marriage unity. We have always been socially conservative because we care about our culture, our African culture, and we try to we've been preserving our African culture in this Western system for 400 years, even though we forgot that we've been doing it. As a matter of fact, we're so socially conservative, we hid our actual African traditions and religions within Christianity so that we can continue to practice it in front of the white man, because the white man didn't want us to practice our powerful African traditions and spiritual systems, because those things would inspire us to revolt against the white man. That's why the white man gave us that Bible, to keep us docile and quiet and compliant. All right, that's what that's for. Right? But black people have always been socially conservative, meaning we want to conserve the African, the black way of life. Politics is a totally different type of conservatism. All right? Politically conservative is the action of politicians conserving their culture. White people conservatism in politics is them preserving white power and homogeny. It's to conserve white power. All right? White power. If you're an American and you're conservative, you want to conserve the institution of white power. That's why you hear all these fake Pan-Africans and these fake pro-blacks. They advocate for the systems of America, the thing that oppresses black people domestically, right? And also oppresses black people internationally, right? So when you hear a black person make fun of other black people from being from other countries that are not as fortunate as America, understand what you're hearing is a black person who enjoys the imperialistic system of America and is making fun of countries who suffer under the imperialistic system of America, i.e. sanctions, the World Bank, IMF, and although in the military bases and how we like to spread democracy around the world, for our non-governmental organizations, our corporations can go and steal the resources from all these places that brown people live in, all our places where black people live. You see, that's America's foreign policy. You see, these black Coonarians enjoy it because we are on the Death Star. We enjoy the benefit of America's exploitation around the world, right? So these fake Pan-Africans and pro-blacks, because they're more about their own personal wealth, they like to say they're family, but they're more about their own personal wealth and personal gain than the communal act of uplifting your group. Most of these fake Pan-Africans and pro-blacks, they're only Pan-African for pay. They're about as Pan-African as how far your wallet will go, when it comes to buying something from them. They'll Pan-African, then they'll have you buy something from them. They Pan-African, buy this from me. Pan-African, buy this vacation package from me. Pan-African, buy this tour from me. Pan-African, do this. A pro-black, do this genealogy. Pan-African, give me money. Pan-African Cash App. Pan-African, give me super chats. Pan-African Zelle. Pan-African, promote. They is all Pan-African begging. Pan-African panhandling. These people are not Pan-Africans. They're just using the word Pan-African to push their own non-Pan-African, non-pro-black agendas. Some of them are a mixed bag. They seem pro-black, they seem Pan-African, but at the end of the day, they're really just salesmen. All right? And listen, a lot of non-Pan-African, patriotic imperialists go to Africa. As a matter of fact, the majority of people who do go to Africa are white Western imperialists who want to utilize their imperialistic advantages to take advantage of resources and opportunities in Africa. So just because some of these black people going to Africa does not make them Pan-African, doesn't make them pro-black. Just because they're promoting vacations and they're promoting Airbnbs and they're promoting certain things, if you have to give them money, that's their agenda. They're not really Pan-African. A real Pan-African is going to be displaying real Pan-African attributes, which is a communal attribute, which is a unity attribute with no strings attached. They're going to be doing something selfless, meaning the thing that they're doing is for the community and not for their own personal gain. And there's nothing wrong with having a business and making money, but you can usually tell the salesmen and the grifters from the legitimate people, right? So I don't have to break that up. But let me tell you about these Republicans who are trying to get these black people to go over there to the Republican Party, who's so racist that even though Donald Trump picked a white man, that ain't good enough because his wife is Indian, right? They're all online right now pissed off because there was too many black people at the RNC, and it only been 2 days. They're all on Twitter talking shit. You can look this. It's there to be seen. They're upset that they had that prostitute, that OnlyFans freaking community slut on their platform. Do you think white people and the racist white people want black people in their institutions? Listen, racist people need places to go too. Racist people need their own clubs. They already being canceled everywhere left and right. They're already losing power, right? So the little shit that they do got, the last thing they want to do is see a bunch of brown people try to take that shit over too. You think that your regular podunk, racist white guy who ain't got shit going on for him other than his delusion that his whiteness makes him superior, you think he want to turn on his Fox News and see some black people? Tell him about freaking talk about black people? Even they don't even like that shit. It's getting ridiculous. They don't like black people taking racist positions of power. They don't want you in a racist club. They don't want you in their tribal club. The Republican Party, the conservatives, have been taken over by the white power organizations who want to conserve white power in America and white power globally. They don't want your black ass in their institutions. They don't care if you're on their side. You are not the right fit for their organization, and they're letting it be known. They don't want you black people. They don't care how much chuck dancing you can do. Now, see, the old white people, they needed that. The old white people needed a black person to say that the things that they did when they was young and the things that their mamas did when they're young was okay. That they're forgiven for that. That we This generation shouldn't care about that. They needed that reassurance from the black people to say everything that you did legitimately and your daddy did legitimately, that shit is okay with us. We're going to let it slide. That's what they needed. But this new white generation, they ain't got none of them qualms. Because as far as they're concerned, they ain't shit to do with none of that, even though they reap all the benefits, right? And they still hold all the racist, white, ideological thinkers in their head because they was trained by their racist ass parents and grandparents in their racist ass communities, in their racist ass towns and villages all across America. And you got states where everybody just racist. There are places black people don't even go in America, all right, because we know they racist. We just never go there. We don't even consider that. That's not even our country, even though it's in the same landmass. All right, but it's just pathetic to see all these black people trying to join the club of white supremacy when white supremacy don't even want your black ass. They ain't want none of them Indian mofos, and ain't no amount of changing their goddamn name gonna help. All right, ain't no Indians. It's embarrassing. They come over there, change their name to the whitest name possible. They make fools of themselves. They chuck and jive, right, and they get disrespected right in their face, and they still smile. They think that Indians think that their Brahmin caste system is going to be good enough to connect with white people and white power, because we know Indians love white people. They are the most compliant, pet dogs on this planet. Indian people. They should be a fucking shame to themselves, but they're not, because they have no shame at this moment. Not the white ones. Even the dark ones, man, they be chucking and jiving too. Not all of them, but a lot of them, right? Especially here in America, right? But listen, they don't want you. They already mad at too many of you Negroes at their goddamn conferences. All you goddamn, they don't like you rappers. It's okay when it's a white rapper. It's okay, you know, Kid Rock, that was cool. You know, Vanilla Ice, that was cool. You know, Beastie Boys, white rappers, cool. That's why they make white rappers, for them, so they can listen to it and see a white person and be like, oh, at least there's a white one doing it, right? They don't want your black ass with your gold teeth over here, yeah, Trump my nigga. They don't like that. You taking it away from them. You're going to take the Republican Party and make racism look cooler than they can make it. Because you know we make everything look better than them, right? You're going to make racist white ideologies. You're going to make racist white propaganda look cooler than them. They don't like that. You grandstanding above them. They can't have shit. You can't leave white people shit, can you? Huh? That's how they looking at it. They want you to keep your ass over here in the Democrat side, or go independent, or do anything else but be a Republican, especially a conservative. They don't even count you. When them black Trump supporters tried to get on them damn Twitter space, remember I made a video about that? They was like, what the fuck are you doing here? That's like, listen, having a bunch of Negroes in the conservative party is like having a bunch of white people in the Pan-African party. You see, I can understand that. Why the hell I want a bunch of white people in my Pan-African party? Why? Now, when you see one or two allies, you like, all right, but you keep them at a little different. You want to see how they work, see how they operate, see if they true or not. Yeah. But after a while, you start getting the influx. You're like, this is not Pan-African no more. What the hell is this? This look like some other shit, right? So how are you going to have this Pan-European organization called the Conservative MAGA Party who try and make white great again? And you have all these goddamn Negroes, these damn Indians, these two keep changing their goddamn name, these goddamn black people that got two last names and shit, and some of these weird Asian people. Y'all think, first of all, white people are disappearing on this planet. All right? Y'all want to gentrify the Republican Party. Y'all keep talking about white people moving in our neighborhoods and shit. Y'all complain about that. All right? Well, how you think they feel, goddammit? Huh? Y'all want to gentrify, blackify, brownify, POCify. Y'all want to multiculturalify the damn Republican Party. They trying to stay pure lily white. Y'all keep fucking it up. They don't want you. And they're telling you they don't want you. They're telling you on Twitter they don't want you. They're telling you on TikTok they don't want you. They're telling you on YouTube they don't want you. They're telling you in your face they don't want you. Even the gay black dude that was calling himself Republican, when he shows up to the event, they telling you they don't want you. Nigga. With a hard ER. They don't want you. But y'all running over there looking. Y'all look like a girlfriend running towards a man and they don't want to have nothing to do with him. Y'all just like, y'all grabbing his leg while he walking down the street and shit, making a scene. He's just trying to kick you off, trying to walk off. That's what they doing. All right? So y'all look like clowns. Every one of you. And then right now, you got all the black Coonarians trying to convince everybody with all the evidence to be seen. All the evidence that this white conservative gun nut MAGA 20-year-old would-be assassin, right, is somehow a liberal, somehow a Democrat. They trying to spin that shit. They trying to do Olympic level gold medal gymnastics, jiu-jitsu, all that shit. They try to spin it, and they don't even sound right. They can't spin this one. They can't spin this one. Y'all doing way too much work for the white. Even the white folks ain't even out here doing that. They skipping straight to the conspiracy theories because it make more sense. No lie. It makes more sense that it's some weird inside job with the C. Just they at least they shit entertaining. Y'all just sound like fucking fools. Y'all working real hard for this white man, right? But y'all don't work. Y'all don't have that same energy, and y'all don't give the same grace to black people. These so-called Pan-African pro-black, they don't give the same grace or understanding or empathy or anything to black people. But this one orange white piece of shit racist Nazi, they give all of their Pan-African pro-black energy to. That's how you know they're not pro-black, no Pan-African. They're just not, okay? But I do know, because you guys tell me in the comment section, y'all do know the difference. Y'all can tell the difference between a real Pan-African like myself and various others, right? Like Neferkari Dessalini, that's a real pro-black Pan-African right there, right? You got plenty of real pro-black Pan-Africans on YouTube, and I know you guys are smart enough to know the difference between the real ones, right? The real pro-black, the real Pan-Africans, that you can tell that we're in it for the team, and then you can tell the ones that's in it for their own personal gain, right? And here's another telltale. Look at all the other ones that's not Pan-African, but they're in these other little cliques. They all started off as Pan-African. They all started off with Pan-Africanism, but then they realize when you work for your people, when you doing shit for your people, there's no real money in that. It's not, because you're fighting against a system that don't want you to win. So there's no money in it. So that means you got to have a different motivation to continue on. That means you got to actually care about your people. You see, if it's all about the money, people quit when they ain't got none. But if it's about your people, as long as my people are here, that's all the motivation I need. You understand what I'm saying? So tell the this is the difference between a real Pan-African and a fake one, right? A real Pan-African would never lead you to white supremacy. A real Pan-African would never lead you to white supremacy. A real pro-black would never lead you to white supremacy. A real Pan-African, a real pro-black would never lead you towards a group of people that's openly telling you that they don't want you. That's openly rejecting you. That's openly declaring war on you. That's openly trying to disfranchise you. That's openly trying to erase your history. No true Pan-African or pro-black will ever do that to you, no matter how many dashikis they wear, no matter how many African statues they got, no matter how many African books they got in their background, no matter how many times they get on a plane and go to Africa, no matter how many times they take somebody and take their money and overcharge them for a shitty ass trip to Africa, no matter how many times they do it, no true pro-black Pan-African is going to lead their people to the enemy. Those are traitors. All right, straight up. And listen, all you Republicans, all you black Republicans who think Donald Trump cool because you think he's hip because he went to jail, because he's a felon, because I mean, what more? What all the lowbrow shit that he do, you telling that equates to blackness? That's how intelligent some of these black people are. They only see Donald Trump, they only relate to him because he's a piece of shit. And that means they view themselves as pieces of shit. Because it can't be anything else. They can't name one policy. They've been talking for how many years now about how great Trump is, but can never tell you what it is he done that was great. Even though all the evidence written down on the record, public, all information public says he ain't never done shit for black people. He ain't never liked black people. He's been racist and discriminatory against black people his whole life. He's a neo-Nazi. His dad's a neo-Nazi. His granddad's a neo-Nazi, racist piece of shit. All of that. They don't see none of that shit. They only see the fact that Donald Trump was in a music video, a 50 Cent music video. Or that his name rhymes with a bunch of shit, so a bunch of rappers use his name. That's it. That's the depth of Donald Trump right there. But all I'm saying is, man, you guys are clowns, man. And I am looking forward to the day Trump is done. And look, let's say that dude win. You're going to get everything you deserve. Because y'all clearly forgot the first 4 years. Because none of y'all black people was praising Trump when he was the president. Not one of you short-term memory fools was praising Donald Trump when he was the president. None of y'all. Because he was horrible. He was the worst. I can't say he's the worst president we ever had. Because the worst president we ever had owned slaves. So after after the presidents that own slaves, Donald Trump is the worst president in the history of America. He's probably, he's already been rated. He's already been rated by every reputable organization in America. He's the worst president in the history of America. Professionally, policy-wise, morally, everything. By every measurable metric there is. All right? By every metric in the world. So I can't wait to see what happens when the Republican Party is no longer cool once Donald Trump is gone. I want to see how many of you guys, how many of you Coonarians stay strong with the Republican Party when they don't have a figurehead for people to galvanize to. Because I guarantee y'all gonna jump ship. Because most of y'all are just bandwagoners, to be honest. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comments section. You know, what do you think about? Do you think that you think the Republican Party is happy about all this diversity happening in the RNC? Huh? Have you seen the racist comments about J.D. Vance's wife? Have you seen the racist comments about all the black people being included in the RNC? Have you seen the mountains and mountains of evidence that the Republican Party, the good old boys party, the white party, the conservative party don't have shit to do with multiculturalism in their white power organization? Have you seen it? Anyway, let me know what you've seen in the comment section. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach some. I'm out.